start when I surveyed the wondrous cross on which the Prince of Glory died. My riches gain I count but loss, and pour contempt on all of my pride. Where the whole realm of nature mine, that were a present far too small, love so amazing, so divine, demands my soul, my life, my all. Because of God's love for us, we give him our soul. Because of God's love for us, we give him our life. And because of God's love for us, we give him our all. One of the best songs that has ever hit the airwaves was, I give myself away. And so it's our reasonable service. Reasonable service is literally interpreted from the Greek text as your logical ministry. Can I get one or two people to understand me when I tell you all of us in this room have a ministry? And this text, look, this text is tailored to teach us how to flesh out this calling. This text is tailored to teach us how to flesh out this reasonable service. This text is tailored to teach us how to flesh out logical ministry. God has not brought us into the body of Christ. God has not brought us into the church, into the ministry to sit. God has not brought us here to just soak it up. God has not brought us here to sour, but God has brought us here to serve. It is time that each of us learn what God has fitted us to do. God has anointed you. God has touched you. God has blessed you. God has given you a talent, and it's your job to flesh it out and find out, like the Apostle Paul, what is it, God, that you would have for me to do? And so I got to tell you, there is an appeal that we must appreciate. There is an act that we must practice. Somebody say practice. Practice. So when you know how it happens on your job, you're trying to be right, you're trying to be good, and somebody cross you right quick, you practice it. That's who you want to practice on. Hold your peace. And somebody asks you, what are you doing? I'm practicing. Hold your peace. Somebody catch you on the right. Somebody run out in front of you during this 40 days of consecration. And you know we don't want anybody running out in front of us. Or here's another one. Sometimes the light turns green and the person in front of you is still sitting there. They might be texting. They might be talking. They might be like Sister Gainey was in her car having an issue. Having an issue. They might be here. Practice patience. Practice consecration. And let the world know, let your world know that you're practicing holiness. I'm practicing. I want to be a better Christian. This is the only way you can be a better husband. You got to practice. This is the only way you can be a better wife. You got to practice. I can't pastor any better than I do unless I practice. You can't deacon any better than you deacon. You can't deaconess, or you can't trustee, or you can't choir member or usher any better than you do unless you practice. And so I believe God's calling all of us in the next 40 days to let's practice doing what we do to the glory of God. Let's forget about ourselves, concentrate on him, and worship him. God is calling us to come together for the next 40 days. Forget about ourselves. Concentrate on him and worship him. And so there's an appeal that we must appreciate. There is an act that we must practice. There is an argument that we must ponder. And then there's an attitude that we must possess. And he says here, look, come close. Listen to me. He says, be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed. Are y'all looking at this text? He says, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. God, I just love this text right here because I think God is saying, I want to overhaul your mind. I want to overhaul your mind. I wish I had me some soft music right there because I could just feel God working on us right now. God says, I want to overhaul your mind. God says, have you noticed how you've been thinking lately? God is saying, have you noticed your mind? God says, have you noticed how you've been thinking? Have you noticed what you've been thinking? You think everybody is out to get you. You think everybody is jealous of you. You think nobody likes you. You think everybody wants what you got. You think everybody wish they were in your shoes. God says, have you noticed how you've been thinking lately? He says, be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by allowing me to renew your mind. And so listen to me. This world is human life. Listen, when it says this world, be not conformed. Are y'all looking at the text? He says, be not conformed to this world. When he says this world is human life and society with God left out. That's what this world is. We are not to copy the behavior and the customs of this godly world. The cross has come in, listen, hold on a minute. The cross has come in between the believer and the world. The cross has come in between the believer and the world. Listen, what are you saying, Pastor? We got to have the world behind us and the cross in front of us. Not the cross separating us. The world has to be behind us. And the cross has to be before us. So, what are you saying? He says, be transformed. What is transformation? Transformation is the remedy for confirmation. For confirmation. The only way you can not be conformed, you got to be transformed. We were born in sin, shaped under iniquity. It's in us to lie. Some stuff got to soak this morning, look like. I say it's in us to lie. It's in us not to like each other. It's in us not to trust each other. It's in us to think more highly of ourselves than we ought. What stops us? Look how good God has been to us. Look at what we're wearing. Look at where we are. Look at the shoes on our feet. Look at your bank account. Look at how far, look where you come from. You didn't have it like this in Georgia. You didn't have it like this in Florida. I didn't have it like this in Tennessee. You didn't have it like this in Mississippi, Virginia, and all those other. That's why we're here. Look what God has done for us. The only thing that keeps us from conforming is being transformed. And so transformation is the remedy for confirmation. And transformation is the result of consecration. So when you're consecrated, what do you look like? You look like a transformed person. What do you walk like? You walk like a transformed person. Can y'all take some more? If we wish to prevent confirmation from without, we must submit to transformation from within. If we submit to transformation, let me tell you how to be done. It will be done through consecration. So transformation means much more than a change in our manners. It's more than how we walk. It's more than how we talk. It's more than our manners. It's a change in our mind.